Welcome to another episode of the Retirepreneur Podcast. I'm your host with this week's executive summary for busy entrepreneurs building their second act business. Today's episode is designed for maximum impact in minimum time. We're doing a deep dive today into probably the single biggest hurdle professionals face when they start thinking about that next chapter. It's that really paralyzing question, what would I even do?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of being completely stuck. It's almost universal, isn't it? You've spent decades successfully navigating really complex work, managing budgets, people, huge projects, and yet the moment you consider launching something small, your own thing, all that hard-won wisdom can somehow just curdle into hesitation.
Yeah, like you suddenly feel you need some kind of earth-shattering, revolutionary new idea to even start.
Exactly. But the truth is, and this is the core mindset shift we see, it's usually not a lack of ideas at all. It's more a lack of confidence in the value of your existing experience.
Right, so this huge mental block where you think, well, I did that for 20 years, so it must be ordinary. Everyone knows this.
Right. But it's not ordinary. Think about it this way. Younger entrepreneurs, they're often trying to invent a solution for a problem they think might exist tomorrow. You, on the other hand, you've spent decades observing reality. You've seen what actually happens. That gives you this extraordinary market intelligence because you know exactly where systems break down, why the obvious solutions often fail in practice, and precisely where the real bottlenecks always seem to pop up.
Okay, that sounds great, that phrase, extraordinary market intelligence. But I can hear someone listening, maybe a former project manager or CFO, thinking, do I really have that? Was I just seeing the same admin mess up repeatedly? How do you differentiate that valuable pattern from just routine problems?
That's a fair question, and it really brings us to the story of Retirepreneur's founder, Kurt Rose. It's pretty instructive here. When he went back to grad school, at age 62, he realized he wasn't really learning brand new concepts from scratch. Instead, he was learning to recognize the immense value in the operational patterns, the strategic patterns he'd seen repeat across totally different industries for decades. So the distinction isn't just seeing the problem repeat, it's understanding why the fixes failed, not just that they failed. Your experience is like a built-in filter against the bad ideas.
Oh, okay. So it's that deeper understanding, the why. That foundational knowledge is the entrepreneurial goldmine. All right, let's stop talking philosophy for a second and make this super actionable for you listening right now. We want you to tap into that knowledge base immediately. Let's call this Actionable Insight 1, the 10-minute experience audit.
Yes. This is a really practical, quick activity. It's designed to bypass that inner critic, the one telling you your experience is nothing special. Okay, grab something to write with, set a timer for just 10 minutes, and just keep writing. Don't overthink it. First, list 5 major recurring problems you solved again and again in your career. The headaches that always landed on your desk.
Okay, 5 recurring problems. Got it. What's next?
Second, write down 3 things colleagues or maybe clients, even friends or family, always ask you specifically about. Were you the go-to person for untangling complex contracts, or maybe simplifying technical stuff for the leadership team, or just navigating tricky office politics? What did people seek you out for?
Okay. 3 things you were the go-to for.
And finally, number 3. Note down 2 specific industries, or maybe even micro verticals within industries, that you understand better than most people outside that field. The real magic here is the speed. 10 minutes. By the time that timer goes off, you'll likely realize something pretty profound. The best business ideas, they aren't really discovered out there. They're actually just remembered. Your history maps them out.
I like that. Remembered, not discovered. Okay, so now you've got this list, this internal validation from your own experience. How do you structure that? How do you turn that recognition into a measurable path forward, move from insight to action?
Yeah, that's the crucial next step. And that's where the IDEATE framework comes in. It was built specifically for second act entrepreneurs like you to really build momentum quickly. We're just going to focus on the first 3 components, the most critical ones for evaluating ideas early on.
Okay, sounds good. Let's start with the idea on IDEATE, identify problems worth your time. What's the filter we should be using here?
The filter needs to be ruthless. You have to filter out the nice-to-have problems. Ask yourself, could someone get through their workday, maybe grumbling a bit, but ultimately survive without your solution? If the answer is yes, it's probably a weak business idea. You need to focus only on issues that keep professionals or entire businesses genuinely stuck, things that cost them real money, real time, maybe even lost deals. That intensity of pain is where your opportunity lies.
Got it. Filter for genuine pain, not just annoyances. Okay, then the discover in your own backyard. This feels like it ties right back to that experience on it, right?
Exactly. It's about recognizing that what feels easy, almost obvious to you because you're a master at it. Well, that feels nearly impossible to a novice facing the same challenge. Think about a process you refined over years or a complex challenge you can now solve almost in your sleep. That streamlined approach, your ability to see the risks others miss, or knowing just when to pivot that feels effortless to you. But for someone else struggling, your know-how is pure gold. It's a shortcut for them. You start from mastery.
Okay, makes sense. Leverage what feels easy to you. Then we hit the E, evaluate without overthinking. This is huge because we know analysis paralysis kills more good ideas than anything else. What are the quick tests here?
Right, we need fast validation. Run these 3 non-negotiable tests before you pour significant time or money into an idea. Test 1. Is someone already charging money for something similar to this?
Ah, the competition question. People usually fear that.
They do, but they shouldn't. If the answer is yes, it's actually a gift. It proves there is demand. It validates the market. You don't need to invent something entirely new. You just need to maybe improve on it or specialize, find a niche.
Okay, so competition is validation. Test 2.
Test 2. Would you personally have paid good money for this solution 5 years ago, back when you were dealing with that exact problem day in and day out? This makes sure you're solving a real remembered pain point, not some theoretical future problem you think people might have.
Good reality check.
Nah.
And the third test.
Test 3. Can you explain the core value of your idea in one single sentence? If you can't make the benefit crystal clear, like, I help small marketing agencies cut their reporting time by 50%, or I help retiring dentists find qualified buyers for their practices, then you probably haven't clearly defined the problem or your solution yet. So if you can honestly check yes to all 3 of those boxes, you have a mandate. Stop the endless research. Start testing.
Okay, testing. That's the bridge we need to cross. So many ideas die here. We need low-commitment ways to get that crucial market feedback fast without betting the farm right.
Absolutely. We need to generate options first, then test smartly. So, first step, quantity to find quality. We call this the 50-idea sprint. Set a timer again, this time for maybe 15 minutes, and just write down every single business or service idea related to your expertise that pops into your head. No filtering, no judging, just write.
15 minutes, just brain dump everything. Why the specific push for 50 ideas, though? Isn't that a lot?
It is, and that's the point. The first 10 ideas, maybe 15, they'll be the obvious ones, the things you've thought about before. The real magic often happens around idea number 25 or 30 or even 40. The time pressure forces you to push past those comfortable, surface-level thoughts. That's where your unique, deep experience starts combining in interesting ways with a bit of creativity. That's often where the truly valuable, maybe unexpected business concepts are hiding. Get the easy stuff out to uncover the real gems.
Okay, push past the obvious. I like that. So once you have this longer list, maybe some surprising ideas on there, we need that real-world feedback. You said no expensive focus groups.
Definitely not needed at this stage. Use your most valuable and cheapest asset, your existing network. This leads to our quick win. Using your network as market intelligence, it honestly could not be simpler. Before you even think about Googling competitors or building a website, just text maybe 3 former colleagues this week. People you trust who are still in the industry. And here's the key. Don't pitch them anything. Don't mention your idea yet. Just ask a simple, open-ended question like, hey, name, quick question. What's the single biggest operational challenge or maybe strategic headache you're dealing with at work right now?
Ah, that's clever. It's pure, unvarnished market intelligence straight from the source.
Exactly. Their answers are gold. If 2 or 3 of them mention similar struggles, maybe it's integrating some new compliance software or dealing with remote team productivity or retaining senior talent, boom. You've just identified a high-paying recurring problem that people are actively wrestling with right now. That real-time insight beats weeks of theoretical research every single time.
Okay, that's a fantastic low-effort way to get validation. But what about testing your own ability or even desire to do the work? Some listeners might want to dip their toes in before committing fully.
Yes, a very common desire. And for that, the ultimate low-commitment pathway, we strongly recommend looking into fractional consulting.
Right, this is sometimes called the Pivot 65 approach, isn't it? Using these fractional roles to test the waters before launching something bigger.
Precisely. Fractional consulting roles, you can find them on platforms that specialize in flexible, high-level work. They are specifically looking for people exactly like you. They want professionals with 15, 20, 25 years of deep, specialized experience. They need strategic thinkers, people with that pattern recognition we talked about, people with credibility to guide companies through complex issues. These companies aren't hiring someone to train, they're hiring your judgment, your experience.
And the big benefit here is that they're usually project-based, right? So it's not a full-time commitment.
Exactly, it's project-based. So you are essentially getting paid to run a pilot program for your potential future business. Think about it. You're validating two critical things at once. First, do you actually enjoy doing this kind of work in a more flexible second act way? Is it fulfilling? And second, maybe even more importantly, do clients value your specific expertise enough to pay a premium for it?
That's a perfect test run. You build confidence, maybe some testimonials, maybe even your first few clients for when you do launch formally.
It's the ideal way to ensure that when you do decide to launch your own venture, you're not starting from zero. You're starting from a position of proven, validated strength. You've effectively turned that paralyzing question, what would I even do, into a confident statement. Here's exactly what I'm building next because the market has literally already paid me to do it.
That really brings it full circle. From recognizing the gold in your experience to actually getting paid to test it out. That's your executive briefing for this week. If you found value in these insights, share this episode with fellow retirepreneurs and subscribe to the Retirepreneur newsletter at retirepreneur.com. Follow us for weekly strategic insights, and remember, your most successful chapter is just beginning. Until next week, keep building.